Hey, what's up?
Hey, Justin,
There he is.
what's happening, brother?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole.
Yeah, this is Mike
Huh?
B, the Silver Devil, the Dark God of the Purple. Let me introduce one of my bestest brothers in the whole world. This is Justin Crowfire, everybody. Yeah, what's happening, brother?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Just
You're
another day in
good.
the office.
You're good. Everything-
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Keeping busy,
Well,
keeping under
thank you,
control.
everybody, for joining us.
Of course.
Tonight, let me introduce him, and he's going to tell you some stories about himself and how he carries the left hand path. And I really think you guys are going to like what he has to say and connect with it. And I really don't know of too many other practitioners that I consider as real as this guy. So, Justin, how did you get your start in magic and in the left hand path?
Uh, I started off when I was actually part of a Wiccan group through the UU Church. That was what initially got me into it. I had a couple really good right hand path mentors who opted to teach me Reiki, working with crystals, working with angels, and that just wasn't enough for me. I wanted more.
Mhm. Okay. Um, when I say left hand path,
To me, the biggest difference between the left-hand path and the right-hand path, the left-hand path is all about seizing your destiny and coming into your own growth, coming into your own form of control, your own form of ascent, as opposed to other forms of magic where you trust in something greater than yourself. The left-hand path, I believe that we are the ones that are great.
yeah.
There's nothing greater than ourselves.
I heard it put like this one time, and I liked it.
Mhm.
Uh, the right hand path focuses on being carried by the all or God into
Mhm.
the future, into destiny. Whereas we in the left hand path, we carry the all in the direction of the future. That would be the biggest difference.
I like that. Actually, I
Self
like that.
determinism. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I
Okay,
really
cool.
like that.
What is your favorite area of magic?
I mean, right now, my favorite focus is psychic
Hmm.
vampirism more so than anything. I've been
What
really
is your
getting into
favorite
that.
area of magic currently?
Um, my favorite area of magic currently, I would say, it's kind of a toss up between the goetic and psychic vampirism. Like I'm still very much dedicated to Belial, and I always will be. So I would say that the demonic magic is will always hold a place in my heart. That's always going to be my favorite. Um,
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, we all have divine kedusha, light inside of us, and darkness, and
mhm.
most of us that are in the left-hand path have a very strong predisposition towards the dark side, like
Yeah,
60 to 70%. Yeah, yeah, you're
yeah.
definitely like a 70% easy. Um, tell us about your relationship with Belial. This is great stuff, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a very close relationship with Belial. He's helped me out of many bad situations. He has always been there for me. The one thing I've learned through meditation and through connecting with him is that he does not look for followers. He looks for equals. He looks for people who want to be on the same playing field as him, as opposed
Yeah,
to people who
yeah.
are just going to beg and scrap and hope that he helps out. He doesn't like
You know,
weakness.
it's entertaining. Tonight I had to work with him for a client. And
Ooh,
I asked him what he wanted. And he said, I
yep,
want you to try astral projection exercises once a week for 5 weeks.
interesting.
And I'm like, he always asks for some kind of self improvement or stretching the boundaries of your current self. Like, but it's always for your benefit. Like, he's not doing it for
Absolutely.
him. You know what I mean? He's doing it for you. And like
Yeah,
when I
of
got him
course.
in with me a couple of years ago because I backed out of a meditation deal, he
Yeah.
told me, he says, I didn't even do that for me. That was for you. But
Well, one thing I've noticed too is
you
that if you're not willing to do the work, he's more than happy to pull the rug out from under you with his dedicants or however you want to word it. Like if you're not willing to put in that extra effort, he'll let you know. That's one thing I've
know what
always
I
loved
love
is that you
about
never know. Mm, hmm Yeah, he definitely has control.
have some crazy fucking shit, you know.
Yeah, I've had
Oh yeah,
I've had clients
man.
after working show up and
All right,
their
Justin, I
fence
want to
just
bring
gone.
up a blast from the past.
Hmm
Um, when we met about
4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I think that's how long it's been. We've known each other a while.
Hmm. All
But
right. I want to bring up something from the past that
yeah,
you remember.
yep.
All right. Um, when we met, it was about 4 or 5 years now. I think 4 years. Is that right? Does that sound
Yeah,
right to
yeah.
you?
That sounds right to me. Yeah, that sounds right. 4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
Found Justin. I had been 5 years, and I was just getting back on. And Justin really knew his shit. He was really, really about his business. I respected that about him. And I really have been trying for adepthood my entire life and not making it all the way there. And he said something to me. He said, "You have no idea how close you are." You know,
I mean, it was true.
this and to get my attainment, and without him, I wouldn't have gotten it. He was really helpful.
Oh, I'm glad that I was able to play a role. Like you were so close to like
Yep,
getting
really
like over the
helpful.
cusp.
Well,
You
it
know,
looks like
being
you're
that
having some
precipice.
technical issues, Justin. It's all right. We'll wait for you to catch up.
All right.
You bet.
Is it working any better now?
All right. Okay.
Reception here is
Um,
great.
Tell us about the undead gods.
The undead gods are essentially the ones that control the
Yeah,
vampiric.
God. Yeah, you really helped a lot, though, bro. I mean, really, you really sharpened me.
I'm glad. I'm glad that I play. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's
that I
better
played
now.
my role.
Yeah, I was just telling everybody that.
Yeah. I'm glad that I was able to play a role in that. Like you were already very established, and it was only just a small push that you needed, and you helped me quite a bit as well. Like I was, you know all the stuff that I'd been going through, all the chaos and all the BS and all the ridiculousness, and you helped me through that. You helped me
Yeah,
keep my focus as
yeah,
well. So I would like to think
yeah.
that it was kind of a mutual thing. We both helped each other out in our ascent.
Man, like your philosophy of wanting challenge in order to grow and become stronger, I avoided that for years because I was a coward. And I realized it one day that the spirits don't give a shit if I want challenges or not. I'm going to get them anyway. And I can face it like a man, and I can say, let's do this, or I can be a little coward about it and try to hide from it and live a life of comfort and luxury. Um, but I thought about how you carried it, and I'm like, man, that's how a real magician would carry it. Maybe I need to do the same thing. And I felt a lot stronger since I've been accepting these things that come.
Well,
You know,
I appreciate that. I appreciate what you're saying. What's the saying? Lessons will be repeated until they are learned. As far as like how the universe works, and unfortunately, the more you try and avoid a lesson, the more you try and avoid a situation, the stronger it's gonna be knocking on your door. I
yeah,
learned
yeah,
that
that's
really
exactly how
quickly.
it is.
So,
Yep, yep. Yeah, I look at it like spokes in a wheel. Like if you don't learn from the situation, it's going to repeat itself with different people over and over and over again,
yep,
but it's the exact same situation until you get it. Yep.
exactly, exactly. And I
Yeah, man.
absolutely
And
hate.
you really,
What's that?
yeah, I was going to say, man, you really went through a lot of shit recently. I'm not going to get into it here on camera, but I just want people to understand that this dude's life has not been easy at all. And I don't know a single left-hand person who's authentic who did have a good life, really. But
You're right
dude went
about
through.
that. It's
Oh,
I feel like it's something about the energy that just like attracts hardship. Like I don't know, it's just something
trauma.
about the
I
growth
think it's
process.
trauma. I think it's trauma because trauma opens the door to Sitra. Trauma
Yeah.
opens the door to the dark side.
Yep, you're right about that.
That's just a theory. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Could be
no, but
talking out of my ass.
no, I would completely agree with
Yeah.
that. And like there's two
Yeah.
approaches. You can
All
either
right. Let
run
me
from the
ask you this:
trauma or embrace it.
did you have anything you wanted to show us tonight?
Shoot, nothing specific that I had in mind. Um I don't have like any of my tools with me or anything like that. All I really have is just the basics, like my
Any
everyday
incantation?
carry. Huh?
Like
I
any
didn't hear that.
incantation?
I
It's okay
didn't
if
hear
you
that
don't.
last part.
You might have
I
an
don't.
incantation, a spell.
Oh, I'm sorry. A spell. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a good one that I could talk about. The one that I usually use is that I have been focusing on recently is based around like baneful workings.
Mm.
It's one that I've learned through the undead gods, which is essentially like when
Ooh.
you're in the ritual space, you focus on like channeling like pain and a little bit of bloodletting in order to direct it towards your target. I'm still trying to fine tune. I'm still trying to fine tune it. Still trying to uh, see like what results it does get, what results it doesn't get. Is still kind of in the testing phase, I guess you could say. But I'm hoping that it'll get the results that I'm looking for.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys, let me tell you this about Justin Crowfire. When this dude does Baneful, people get brain tumors. All right. That's what happens when this dude does Baneful. When I do a bad calf muscle, when this dude does it, there's car accidents, earthquakes, people
The
die. You know,
still good results. I would like to think the reason I
this
get
guy,
such good results is just because of how invested I get in my work. It's not that you don't get invested. Like I know you do, but with mine, it's like I literally put like blood, sweat, and tears. Like I
I
will
think it's
relive
calm.
traumatic
I think it's
moments.
calm.
You know I've
Like
had plenty
you
of
just like
traumatic moments.
calm.
So when I meditate, like I will relive countless traumatic moments
Yeah,
to try and increase the energy,
yeah.
increase the whatever darkness I want to get into the temple space, into the ritual space. Then when I'm on the verge of a psychotic breakdown, that's when I start my real workings. You know.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just starting to understand what you're saying, Justin. I'm just about to get to where that is. Like
Mhm,
I understand it conceptually, and I've
mhm.
been working up to it with my rituals, my precursors. Like it's kind of like building the insanity and the madness to get into it. Like what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's
Yeah, I get it.
when you think about it, it's not much of a different concept than going into a trance for any other working, whether it's like Budan, how they do
Right.
like
Yeah,
sacred
you're right.
circles, or like
Yep.
in Wicca when they like reach trances that way, or meditate, or how Buddhists reach meditation. It's same concept, just
Mhm.
different energy, different constructs.
Yeah. What's the greatest act of magic that you have performed?
Um, let's see. I honestly I rank getting my ex-wife now out of a wheelchair as one of my better feats.
Oh wow.
She had a spinal syrinx, and she had a full body nerve damage. And at the time, I was still walking both paths. I was doing left hand and right hand, so I kind of pulled from a little bit of everything out of desperation. And after a while, she
Mhm.
started walking again. Her doctors were awful confused. But
Wow.
by the time I was done with her, she had no spinal damage. She had no nervous system damage. She was
Wow.
set
Oh,
and
yeah.
ready to go back to
Did
the
you
gym.
use vampirism? Did you use any vampiric techniques there to transfer energy?
I did. I used I used a combination of psychic vampirism, Reiki, and I worked very closely with Marvis. Um,
God damn. Wow.
yeah, Marvis
Wow.
was very helpful through all of that.
You know, the time that you and I helped the young woman get out of the psych ward that was going to be there for a long time,
Yes.
I
Yep.
won't say
That
anymore.
was a victory.
That was a big victory, man. That
Yeah.
was a big one.
That's the thing. You and I have had some really good victories. Like as far as like
Yeah,
choosing just
we
one,
had,
it's
man.
kind of hard because we've accomplished a lot. You know, like we've had
Yeah,
a lot of good wins together.
yeah. We're like the Smash Brothers of Super Mario. Like when we get going, there's nothing, we can't be stopped. I mean, we had a person that was so bad. Dude lived with another, had no communication. 6 weeks
Yep.
later, we got her laid.
I
Six
remember that.
weeks,
Yep.
man. That was hopeless.
Yep. Yep. That was a win.
Just really listening to her at some point, and then I would actually be somebody in the occult, or did you think I would be?
I didn't know that you would reach like this level of height, but I knew that you had like the determination and the willingness to actually like go as far as you needed
Yeah,
to go. Like I felt like it was kind of like up to you how far you would actually climb. I've always known you can do it.
yeah. And everybody's path is different. Not everybody's going to publish a book. You know, not everybody wants to. Not everybody gives a shit. You know,
Yeah,
like if you're a fame monster, that's great. But if you're just a regular dude trying to get through the path, man, you don't need to do that. So
yeah, it's
I
true.
get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but you
Uh,
actually rose to the challenge.
Let me ask you this. Um, Yeah, well, Militant or a bad guy, and I had to show everybody, fuck you. That's not cool, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like, what have you published, bitch? You know, like.
yeah, exactly. No, I'm a firm believer that the quickest way, exactly, and the quickest way to motivate a person.
Do you feel like?
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Mhm, yeah. I was going to ask you, do you feel like lead at this point?
Um, I would kind of think so. Yeah. Not even just because, like, on some level, I feel like it's the responsibility of every left hand path practitioner, whether it's in the 1300s or whether it's in the 2000s. You know, like we have to carry it on because we don't really have the support that the right hand path does. We have each other, and that's it. You know, so
Yeah,
regardless of the
yeah,
generation, it's our responsibility to carry the torch and to help younger
yeah. We
mages
have,
who want to get into it.
yeah,
Especially when you
yeah.
consider how much knowledge has been lost over the years, like the burning of all the libraries, like how one culture destroys another when they take over. We've lost so much good intel and
Oh,
so much good
awful.
knowledge. Um,
Yeah, yep.
I feel like now more than ever, it's our responsibility to help each other out and to regain that intel, to regain that wisdom.
Do you know what bothers me sometimes is how it seems like in the left hand path we eat each other. Do you know what I mean by that?
Absolutely, I've noticed the same. There's a lot of ego, a lot of poison, a lot of I guess you could say ill-willed humans around. We do definitely tend to step on each other's toes, and it's sad because if
Yeah,
we
yeah, we
work
do.
together, we'd be so much further as a people than we are now as practitioners.
Yeah, you're right. And we have so many natural enemies within the JCI
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
music. I mean,
yeah,
leader of the left hand path or anything like that. But if we fuck with each other, that would
yeah,
be like a great start, you know?
yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I do feel like having like one leader would also kind of
Mhm.
defeat the purpose because of like the
Well, all
embracing
right.
independence. That's my opinion.
Yeah. We're too individualistic for
Right,
any type of leadership structure, you know?
right.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know.
but
Um, that's kind of our signature is
yeah,
um,
it's a mixed blessing.
think about the middle path. Yeah.
The
What do you
middle.
think about the middle path? Like, not, and I had nothing but misery, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I respect those that can walk the middle path, but I feel like it's a lot easier to slip up and to come and run into roadblocks. Because if you're thinking that it's cool to work with like a bunch of different entities, they might counteract each other and they might disturb your results. You know, so it's like with the middle path, like it's
Yeah.
all fine and good to be want to be neutral, but you have to really be conscious of like what your intentions are more so than if you're just dedicated to one or the other.
Right. And here's the problem too. Like if you do a clip off initiation, you need to counterbalance it with a tree of life initiation in order to keep your Kedusha and your Sitra Akra balanced at around 50 or 40-60 in that
Yeah,
realm to be middle path.
yeah,
And I like the idea you walk with your head in the heavens and your feet in the hells. I like that. It sounds good.
yeah,
But the
yeah. It has
problem,
ring
man,
to
is
it.
this. It has a good ring to it. But the problem is, man, it's so fucking hard to walk that tightrope. You know?
God, yeah. I noticed
Yeah.
during the period of time where I tried it, my emotions were all over the place. Like I would go from like 0 to like 900 in like 2.2. Like it was because my spirit wasn't really sure where it aligned, I guess. I don't know. But my mind was all over the place. My
Yeah, and
emotions
you've
were all
got
over the place when I tried
angels.
that.
Yeah, man. It's because of the war in the human heart. Like angels and demons battle in the hearts of man for supremacy, and like they fuck with your emotions
God, yeah.
hard, bro.
Yeah,
Hard.
I've
Yeah, man.
For previous careers, I've actually needed to call into work after a ritual because I was like such a complete like mental train wreck, you know. So it's like I got to be careful what
Mhm.
rituals I do and when I do them, especially if it is a middle path ritual instead of strictly left hand.
You know what bothers me too about left hand is I got confronted by a couple of intermediates one day that are like, we don't understand how you can work with angels and be consider yourself left hand path. And it's like, wait a minute, who the fuck are you to ask me about what I do in my practice? First of all. Second,
That's
I'm I'm gonna commune with any spirit that I goddamn well please because I can.
yeah,
In the left,
exactly,
we don't have any rules. We can do whatever we want. In the
exactly.
right hand path, they can't deal with the left hand path entities because they consider them tainted and unclean. For us,
Mhm.
there is no limit, you know.
Yeah, we can
Um,
work with any. If a spirit treats me right, I'm gonna treat the spirit right.
yeah,
Doesn't matter if it's an
yeah,
angel
exactly.
or Throa or whatever.
Yeah, we just got to be careful not to mix the two energies in close proximity, or else there are volatile results. Obviously, like I keep an angelic section down here, and I keep an infernal section over here, so that everybody's separate and they're comfortable.
That's smart. Yeah,
Um,
it can lead to
yeah,
disaster otherwise.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did a segment the other day on what happens to magicians that don't do that and how their temples catch on fire. You remember we had an associate whose temple caught on fire once?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how you know the spirit's not happy with you. If your temple catches on fire, guys, there's a problem. you
It
know?
shows you're doing something wrong. Yeah. Yep. I've had candles light on their own before. I've never had my temple just flat out set on fire. Never been
I've
that
had
bad off.
candles go out, like I've willed them out, like with my mind, but I've never had them start on their own. I've never had that.
Oh,
I knew a
for
dude that was so awesome with Franz Bardon, he could crack a glass ashtray with his stare.
damn. That is impressive.
Yeah,
That is
that is
really
fucking
impressive.
impressive, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like some adept kind. That's like adept right there. Yeah. Mm,
any questions for Justin or I? Let's get some Q. And A, you guys,
happy to
you
answer.
guys have been with us. That's awesome. So let's get some questions from us. Yeah, live chat. All messages visible. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Now it's a party. This is amazing. Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's. Let's see if they got any questions for us. Now they told me that my reception to their questions was slow. Like they would type them and then like I wouldn't get them for a minute or so. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, I
Well,
tried to explain this to other people the other day, and I just wanted.
yeah.
Okay,
You're coming in clear enough.
the
Like,
word adeptus. Okay, the
huh?
word adeptus is Latin, and it means he who has attained. Okay, we do not run around calling ourselves adepts. When you see people do that, that's really
Red
it's
flag.
ugly. That's ugly. We don't do that. I will refer to him as one because I recognize him as one. I know he is. It's an
And
honorary title. He
and
doesn't
vice
call
versa.
himself that. That would be weird. Right?
Yep.
I don't call myself that. That would be weird, but I get recognized as such. That's how it works. Like the right hand path, you have to honor other people's titles. We don't really do that.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not really big into titles.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, like there's like honorary titles out of respect and recognizing someone's degree of advancement. That's cool. But
Yeah.
giving yourself titles to sound like bigger than you are, that we don't do that. We don't do
No.
that.
No.
That's bad.
I've always thought someone going around advertising that they're an adeptus is kind of like someone going around like telling people that they're a tough guy. It's like if you have to go out of your way
Yeah,
to say it, it contradicts it. You know.
right. Do you have any messages or tips? Um, let's see. Do you have? Let me see. Have you worked with Lord Lucifer Adeptus? That is Rahul. He's asking you.
Oh, cool. Yes, I have. Not as in depth as a lot of the other infernal spirits, but I have worked with Lord Lucifer on occasion. My primary focus is Belial. But I've had some good experiences with Lord Lucifer. He's given me some good insight over the years.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we got another one. Do you have any messages or tips for beginners like me? This is coming from uh, an associate of mine who I know personally here in the Philippines, Mayora Laika. What do you think?
Cool. I mean, one of my biggest pieces of advice is like never stop focusing on the basics. Like to this day, I still go over like the basics, like the golden dawn triangles and the what's it like the middle pillar ritual, all the stuff that goes along with it to help build the foundations. That's the most important thing. That's what's going to carry you over the years is
It's the
building that
basics.
foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, the foundation of hard work on the basics. You're goddamn right.
Yeah.
That is the fucking, and everybody here had better hear it. It's
Mm.
not about having fun all the time. It's about working hard on basic skills, concentration, willpower, imagination. If you
Yeah.
can't do that, there's no magic for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't need like 500 spells to get mediocre results. You need 2 or 3 spells to get results every single
yeah,
time.
that's exactly right, man. Yep, and you practice those until they're so fluent and they're so powerful that you don't
Yes,
need 100 of them. You just need a few to really knock it out of the ballpark. Yeah, absolutely.
exactly,
Next
exactly.
question. Um, what is most important for successful psychic vampirism? What's the most important thing?
Connecting to the undead gods, like the way that I started out and the way that I was taught was just pay homage to them on a nightly basis at first, then extend it to weekly. They're the ones that are going to carry you through the current. So during your ritual space, when after you've fed on whoever, after you've stored up enough life force, just light a candle for them and open yourself up to them and just let them drain you as deep as they want on your first 2 or 3 times. And that's going to gain you a lot of brownie points. They're all about the quality of life force.
Dude, you have some fucking balls, man. The undead gods. I mean, that's some dudes. I'm serious. I can't go there. I don't have the balls. This dude can do it. I can't do it. I'm scared.
I mean, I'll be honest. I was the first, like I was just saying, let them drain as deeply as they want to the first 2 or 3 times. But I will give a little disclaimer. I felt sick as hell after the first couple communions. Like it
I
gained me a
bet.
little respect, but I was really sick afterwards after they drained me.
Yeah,
So
I bet.
just kind of a little disclaimer there. If you're going to do it, just keep in mind you're not going to feel good the next day.
Have you
But
worked
it's worth
with King Asmodeus?
with who?
Asmodeus. King
Uh,
Asmodeus.
I've worked with King Asmodeus once or twice, and I don't have nearly as much for rapport as I would like to. I've been meaning to reach out. I've only worked with King Asmodeus a small number of times.
You missed it, but I channeled him a couple of weeks ago, and then that night that I channeled
Ooh.
him, and like he was like really showing his ass that night, like he was really borderline out of control. He let me win $1,200 on slots at the casino. I was like,
Dang.
"Whoa!" Yeah, that was great. Next question. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. My money magic does wonders, but baneful magic doesn't seem to work. Any suggestions?
All right. I'm quite the opposite. I've never had much luck with money magic, but I've always had good luck with baneful magic. So maybe I can help you a little bit. As far as baneful magic, the biggest thing in my mind is honestly just like your perception when you're getting into it. Like it's how you view it. If you go into it like viewing it as like a wicked act or viewing it as like something that you feel guilty for, it's gonna mess up your results. If you go in there feeling like it's something sacred and that it's something that's arguably a divine act, a divine gift, it can amplify your results. And
Yeah,
like I said, the more of your own personal energy, your own personal pain and personal power you put into it, the stronger your spells become.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, I actually understand what he's saying. My money magic is really smooth too, and my dignities magic is my forte.
Hmm.
Baneful has taken a lot. We're naturally good at certain things and naturally not with other areas. Like you're really good with Baneful
Yeah.
just from the jump. It's taken me a long time to get any fluency in Baneful. I remember when King Bale told me, "Look, you need to do it." And I'm glad I did, man, because later I needed it. But it's not going to be my forte ever. But you're right. If you go into it with any that, you are seriously risking blowback. You
Yeah.
need to go into this saying, "I am the agent of karma. I
Yep.
am the administrator of justice."
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Let's
one
see.
thing
Next question.
yep.
Um. Here. I'm frozen. I don't know who's frozen. Me
Uh,
or him. Hmm.
no idea.
Am I frozen or are you? Oh, here we go.
Uh,
How do we
I can see
darken your
you moving.
chakras?
I can see you moving.
How do you darken your chakras? I don't know the question. I don't understand the question.
Ah, good question. I've heard talk about removing chakras. As far as darkening chakras, I'm not sure. Kind of intrigued though. I'll have to look that up. Hmm.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept at a conceptual level. I don't know what I think of that either. To be honest with you.
Making a vampire.
Uh,
Um, let's see. I mean, that's the biggest areas that I really recommend that everyone go for at least like at some point is like the more so than anything is baneful magic in some way. Like I would encourage people to focus on defensive magic, like the baneful stuff to focus on protecting yourself first and foremost.
yeah,
Just because
yeah,
you never know if someone's trying to sabotage you. You never know if there's like an infernal that wants to like have a little fun.
yeah,
So I would say
you're right.
that protective rituals, protective spells are the biggest one of the bigger areas that you should be focusing on. Um,
In the beginning, especially, yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I
you're right.
still have a ton of charms all over my house, all over my temple to make sure that nothing gets in
Yeah,
that I don't want to be let in.
that's exactly how it's supposed to be, man. Yeah. Do you in
Yeah.
your temple? Are there a lot of left-hand path spirits that pass through or congregate
Mhm.
there? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, mine too.
I for most of the ones I work with, I actually have an open door policy. Like at the end of the ritual, I don't dismiss. I feel like it's very disrespectful to tell a spirit like, "Hey, thank you for coming to my home. Thank you for answering my prayers. Now get out of here." Like I feel like that's
I'll get the
kind of
fuck
a
out there.
disrespectful approach. So I always before I dismiss a spirit, if I trust a spirit, then I will tell them that they are more than welcome to come in and out of my temple, in and out of my home, as long as they make their presence known.
Yeah,
Uh, I've noticed that that goes a
respect.
long way as well.
Yeah, there's respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never had any problem with the infernals that congregate here. I've never had any beef with them. Like, what happens, like, they amplify my ritual effects frequently because
Yeah.
I can draw off their energy while they're here when
Yep.
I'm doing my precursors. Like, for me, what a really big part of my practice is setting up your precursor rituals to get to your main event, like LBRP, middle
Yep.
pillar,
Yep.
invocation. By the time you're ready, you're like at the top of a tidal wave surfing on power,
Yep.
you know.
I
And
love
these
the build
left
up.
hand path entities that
Mhm.
um so yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. I don't allow angels to do that though. I don't accept that from them. They need to make an appointment.
Yeah, that's very. I would say that's very smart of you. On the at this point, like, don't really want them. As much as I love the Angels, they meddle. So,
They meddle. They fucking
yep,
meddle. They do.
yep, yep.
Sons of
It's always
bitches.
in
They
the
do.
highest good, quote unquote, but they do meddle.
Yeah, yeah. It's always for the greater good, of course, and of course, and that justifies anything that they do. We know. Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
Uh,
not the individual good though, which is where I part ways.
well, it's sort of like, yeah, okay. I tell them license to depart with peace between me and you. However, you are feel free to stay as long as you want. Yeah, that's what I tell them too.
I
I tell Arobus, give you license to depart. You can return. I bless you in the name of Sitra Akra and Havaya. That's it. So now, if
yeah
you want to go, you can. And the banishing afterwards is not for the spirit; it's for the astral critters that are attracted to the light of the ceremony.
yeah, and
Really.
they can be a royal
Yep.
pain too, like the sludge
But I see what
entities
you're
and
saying.
parasites. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Which for people like at our point, like I don't even see parasite. I haven't seen a parasite in so long. Like unless I'm getting one out of somebody. Like I don't. They just
yeah,
don't come around.
yeah.
I don't know.
I see them during healing sessions and
It's like
such like that. Yeah. That's a good thing. They're below us.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever done an exorcism?
Twice. It was not fun. Yep. I've also had one done on me at one point in time, and that was.
Oh,
Ooh.
bad, dude. Like
I'm
the,
sure.
the woman was screaming profanity, shaking, vomiting. Like it was so bad, bro. It was like,
Yeah.
oh man. And I asked Beelzebub, I said, look, man, you can come out of her and come with me to my temple. I'll give you a place on the altar of honor and we'll work together like that. And he says, fuck you.
Mm, He's problematic.
Love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exorcisms are absolutely a great time. If you've never seen one, skip it.
It's an experience. I will say that I will say the exorcisms that are done in Bhutan are very intense. I've only witnessed that once through a friend of mine, and I was not allowed to participate. I had to stay in the background. But that's another one that is absolutely intense. Um,
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
know I wouldn't want to try it. Like in that path, I would not feel confident in doing a Bhutan exorcism.
Like for us left-hand path people, we don't get maleficent, negative,
Mhm.
baneful possession. We get
Right.
beneficial, positive. They're good to
Ex-
us,
exactly, and
but
that's because. Yeah, I feel like that's largely because we don't approach it in a combative stance. We approach them respectfully. We're not going in like bow down in the name of whoever.
yeah.
Like we're not
Well,
going out of
that's a
our way
lot
to
of.
make them subservient.
I'll take it a step further. Because of your predisposition to Citra Aqua, you smell infernal to them. You smell
I
like
like
the
that.
night side. You smell like the dark side,
I
and they
like that.
know it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Like that, like wolves knowing that you're a wolf and I'm a wolf. Okay, let's be wolves together. Like
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah.
uh,
And after a certain
Christians,
point, I feel like all left hand. Oh, go ahead.
Christians, Muslims, and Jews that are two-faced, like they live a pious life on the outside, but on the inside, they're absolutely monsters. Those are the people that get fucked by possession. Those are the
Hmm.
ones that get like the Conjuring or like the Exorcist, something really bad. That's who
Yeah. The
gets it.
the kind of
You know?
folk who would bring back the Inquisition if they could.
Yeah, yep. Those are the ones that really catch the flux.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, the Infernals are going to push back after a certain point. They're not just going to sit there and take it. It's kind of common
Oh,
sense
dude,
that eventually something's going to happen.
they've been imprisoned in Citra Aqua for millennia, bro. They are
Yeah.
disenfranchised from the creation that they helped build.
Hmm.
You
And of
know,
course,
I mean,
it's going to make them bitter.
oh yeah, oh they're gonna be bitter as a motherfucker, and if we can't have a part in it, then fuck it, you can't either. We will destroy the whole goddamn thing. That's their attitude.
Yeah, I can't blame
I don't
them for
blame
it.
them.
Honestly, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, I can't blame them for having that mindset.
I know your neutrality position, and I can appreciate it. I tell you though, man, as soon as I stopped with the neutrality and I just got on board and I just got on the team, the left
Mm.
side, and I went real hard left, everything started being great, Justin. I mean, I went from nothing to everything, bro.
Yeah.
Wild Nautic casinos, a bunch of bitches, dope all the time, just woo!
Yep. Maybe that would put a pause in all these on all these tests that I've been going through. I don't know.
I still get tests too, man. I get them too, but like
Yeah.
not as brutal as it used to be. It's like things are going right for a change, like instead of
Yeah.
wrong all the time.
Yep.
And if it means I'm a bad guy because I consciously bring the dark side into this world, then fuck it, I'm a bad guy. I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna make everybody happy.
Right.
You know?
Well, with that in mind, one thing that I was talking about with a friend of mine yesterday was the fact that of all the obnoxious comparisons, what you said just made me think of it. But like with the good guys and bad guys that are portrayed in Hollywood, for example, a lot of times the good guys are the ones that were handed everything and didn't appreciate it, whereas the bad guys are the ones willing to do anything they have to achieve their ending, their goals. So I don't really see it as a bad thing to be called a bad guy.
Yeah,
All I see it
yeah.
as all I see that meaning is that you're willing to do whatever you have to achieve what you want. That's ambition. That's not evil.
No, it's not. That's a virtue in my mind. Ambition
Hmm.
is a virtue. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah. Adeptus, what was the goddamn it? Oh, hold on, I missed it. Hold on, fuck, I gotta look at it again. Uh, okay. When you do baneful magic, does it give a permanent effect? Yeah, it gives them a brain tumor and they fucking die, or they get in a car accident and die. That's what happens
House
when he
fire.
does it. Not when
Yep.
I do it. I mean, but when he does, that's what happens.
I've gotten a house fire or two. That's always interesting.
Yeah. Oh, Justin, I didn't tell you about this. Okay, I bought a phone online. Okay.
Hmm. You there? Yeah. What's up?
Bought a, it turned out to be a Chinese replica. It
Ah,
had malware on it, and it allowed my online wallet to get plundered for $200 by a cyber thief who I'll
that's
never see.
rough. That's really rough.
Oh, dude, I'm so angry. Like, it's only $200, but motherfucker, you
It's the
cocksucker.
principle.
I threw the
Yeah.
phone into a fire. I cursed the thief with Andromalius. Can you just curse this motherfucker so I know something really bad will happen to him?
Send me a
I
name.
mean, just to make sure.
Yeah. Send me a name. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, Okay. Yeah,
I
I'll
do.
send you. I'll send. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted, man.
Of course.
Yeah, Justin will do it too. Justin
Of
will
course.
do it. Awesome. All right, we got time for three more questions. Three and two only. Let me see what we got. And then we got to go because we can't be here all night for everybody. I mean, we can't
Right.
be all things to all people all the time. Let's see. Three questions, and then we're good. If they come back, if they pop up, this phone,
Yeah.
I spent $170 on it, and I got like an memory. I will never do that again,
Ah,
ever. Because like
that's
when
rough.
you buy it, the programs that are on it that you can't erase take up 80% of the memory.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
why I like my iPhone. I have everything on here.
Adeptus, when was the god damn it all moment of your life? Like when was the most difficult?
When was the most difficult moment? Let's see. That's a hard one. The most difficult moment of my life, I would say, probably
Hmm.
when my ex-wife and I were going through
Yeah.
homelessness, and she was still in a wheelchair.
What was the most difficult?
Um, yeah, I would say the most difficult moment in my life was when I was homeless. My wife was having a lot of medical problems, and I had a few people who needed to square up some debt. So I was running, plus I had nowhere to run to, plus I was taking care of her medical issues. Um, and yeah, that was hard. I would
Mm.
say that was probably the
Wow.
most difficult period of time in
Yeah,
my
I
life.
got to do. Yeah.
And there were other things that were going on, like during that like 2 or 3 months. Like I got in like a 7 car pileup where one of the passengers died. I was in a hotel that had literally caught fire. Like there was all this stuff that just didn't make sense. That just kept happening. That it was like it seems like it didn't happen to most people. But then like once I got back on track,
But I got hit by a Jeep one time when I was meek.
things. That's rough. That's really rough.
Man.
Yeah. It's that like we were saying before, it's the something about the energy that attracts hardship, but it makes us stronger in the end. Like that's what it comes down to. It's there to help us grow. It's not there to help us get hung up on and become bitter about. Like I see my life turning around right now as is. Like I'm very happy with how things are turning out
Wow.
at the moment.
Wow. Yeah, that is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. The moment you started to believe in reality.
I didn't hear that.
Question: when did you begin to truly believe in the left-hand path? When
Um
did you begin to truly believe in the left-hand path?
I would say when I started seeing like all the different like entities and all the results like coming in and out of my home, when I started seeing like visible, viable proof that it worked. That was one thing I never really got with the right hand path. I never really got my proof. I'm very results driven. With the left hand path, when I started seeing shadows and started seeing candles light on their own and started seeing like the results that I wanted, I started realizing like, whoa, this is real. Um, and it got to a point where I had guests in my house confirming things, like saying that they saw the same shadow that I did running by, saying that they wouldn't sleep in our guest room because things were moving. That was kind of the pinnacle where I realized like there is something so much more profound to this than there is to a lot of the other path workings.
Do you know what it was for me, Justin, that made me know it was real?
What's that?
When Arobus, when I could finally start hearing him. Do you remember when I got my clairaudience?
I do remember that. Yes. Yep.
And now Arobus tells me things about people all the fucking time, and it's true. Everything he says, and it's always some kind of detail about their sex life or something bizarre or inappropriate, and like it'll come out in conversation that he was exactly right. Um, and that to me, like there was no way I could have known that, and it's true.
Yep.
That's
Orvis is
great,
good.
man.
Like
Well, we're out of
I
time tonight, guys. I wish we're gonna have Justin back like it's 6 to 8 weeks because we got to do this more often. Like
I
we
would love
haven't
that.
caught up. In, like, I want to say like almost a year and a half. It's been almost a year and a half
Yeah.
since we've really talked it up.
It's been
We're
way
gonna have
too
him
long.
back on. Yeah, it's been
Cool.
too long. We've just been so busy, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Life happens.
life happens, but I don't want to lose touch with people like you, man, because people like you, like I can't replace. So you know,
Yeah.
I
No,
gotta.
never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
No,
for
you're
coming,
a
man. We
brother.
really appreciate it. We really appreciated having you, and I hope that you'll be back again, like within a couple of months. So,
I would love for you to have me. I would love that.
okay. Well, I would love to have you, Justin. No. um, yeah, guys, this was a really good session. He really knows his shit, guys. Like this is like one of the few magicians that really I know knows his shit, and like I really trust his judgment. Oh, by the way, do me a favor, talk to
Yep.
Gregory and just shoot him like that book thing so he knows I wrote it. Because I'd love to talk to Gregory again. I can't believe that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Of course. Of
Yeah,
course, I'll do that. Yeah. I'll
like
reach out to him.
I don't need him to do anything for me or anything. I just want to just hey Gregory, how are you, man? Because that dude was amazing. Do you
Yeah.
remember the time he passed the spirit messages from my old teacher?
I do remember that. Yeah, he's wicked talented. Like he's a definite adept in my mind. He's like a
Oh,
vampiric adept. He taught me everything I know about vampirism.
yeah,
So I'll reach out to him definitely. Yep.
he's a beast. Thanks,
Of
bro.
course.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Well, you guys have a good night. This is the Backwards Three with Citra Opera. This is Mike B, the Silver Devil, and Justin Crowfire. Have a good night,
You too.
everybody.
Later.
Peace.